So I went to undergrad at Bowling Green State University. I always felt like my work should relate to who I am, and I feel like I'm not a very serious person. I have a carefree attitude. And I just felt like whatever I should make should be really light and just kind of lift off of the table. And so I had that kind of a conceptual idea that I wanted to use negative space as a way of removing visual weight from my artwork. And I started at a very basic level. Then as I went to grad school at the Rhode School of Design, that kind of process continued through my work. But it wasn't until after I graduated from RISD that I started using imagery from my personal life and kind of relating it to the work that I create. The start of the work that I do now started from thinking about my family history, my roots, and kind of where I got started as an artist. And a lot of that comes from family. I learned how to draw from my aunt. She was an art teacher. My grandparents were prize dahlia growers. And the dahlia has become a symbol of my family, kind of a symbol of, happy times, summers, playing outside. I started thinking about the dahlia and the negative space and the petals, and I started working in porcelain and creating these sculptures that were really heavily influenced by the dahlia. Then after I taught glass for about 10 years, but most of my work was primarily porcelain, and I thought, well, I really love glass and I love how it's translucent and can easily do all these things that is really hard to do in porcelain. So I started working in glass, and this work kind of immediately evolved. I'd be firing 1 or 2 kilns a day, almost every day, pushing a lot of work through the studio. And so to make that more exciting for me, I would put little experiments in the kilns as I was firing them. And for me, glass is such an exciting medium, and there's so many things that you can do with it. And so I was so excited every day. It was like Christmas morning, opening up the kiln and kind of seeing what happened with my experiment. And just seeing, if there's something new or different that could be done with a medium that hasn't really been done before. My work is really different because I'm working with glass in its powdered state and manipulating it multiple times over many, many firings to achieve a really unique surface and a really unique shape. My work is influenced by complex forms in nature, so I look a lot at the dahlia, bone close-up, the structure of bone, butterfly wings, the texture of the underside of mushrooms. I get a lot of influence in my work by just looking at nature, going on walks, and looking at those forms that I see. And all those things sound really random, but to me those are very personal influences that have a lot of significance in my life.